I actually learned about BGW through a friend who had used BGW in California. And our church was born in 2006, and we started looking toward having to buy property, build a building, and he said, you really need to look at this company as far as working with them. And I said, well, I'm not going to talk to a company in Utah, but he convinced me to go on and try. So I made contact and started talking with some of the principals here. And I found out I liked what I saw. I really realized now that in 1996, when I built a building in another church, a whole new campus, we probably did it building man's way, not building God's way. We realized that. And I heard all the things about how we would do this in such a short period of time, how the charrette process would just get all the plans together very quickly. And quite honestly, I was skeptical. I went to the Build Your Vision conference that BGW does and carried some of our people. And when we got finished with that, we started making plans. We interviewed about 7 different architects and builder type things. And when it came down to the final analysis, BGW is who we chose. And then after we did that, made the contact, they came in to do the charrette with this 3-day process where we're going to come up with at least a basic plan. And I was still skeptical because it had taken us about a year and 3 months earlier to do it. So they came in, 2 architects and the builder, and we started talking through the process. And as we did, things just started developing. They started coming together. And we shared what our main priorities were, what our ministry was all about. And this building started taking shape that really met the needs that we had for the ministry God's given us in Somerset, Kentucky. And so after those 3 days, we had a plan. We had a very sketchy rendering kind of thing, or an idea of what it's going to look like. And I really thought we left there, I thought that was the end of it. And after about 2 or 3 days, I started getting calls from some of the task force members who said, you know, did we really choose these colors for the outside? Did we really choose this? And there were some things that just became obvious that we weren't happy with. And I reluctantly called our architect and I said, you know, I hate to do this, but we've got a problem. And he kind of chuckled a little bit and he said, what's the problem? I said, well, we're going to have to make some changes. He said, well, that's no problem. And I said, no, you don't understand, you're going to have to come back to Somerset. And he was in Cincinnati. And you and Ron from Lexington are going to have to come back to Somerset and let's sit down face to face. He said, that's no problem. When? I said, next Monday night. He said, we'll be there. And they did. And we sat down for about 3 hours that night, made these changes, came out with a beautiful plan that we talked on the phone about for several more weeks just to tweak a few things. And then out of that came a beautiful rendering and floor plan and site plan. And now we're ready to move forward into the next phase. We've raised most of our money, not all of it yet, but very soon we'll be doing architectural drawings. And Lord willing, within a year and a half or so, maybe 2 years, be in this building that God has provided through building God's way. And I'm sold on it. I mean, I've told a lot of pastor friends about it, and more than happy to do that. Very enthusiastic to let them know what I think about building God's way. It truly is building God's way.